football, that is not the line they're playing to. They're playing to the larger yellow line that you would play to, say, in a soccer game as well.
Right, and it can be a little bit additionally confusing because the end zone is a white line. So you've got yellow on the sidelines and restraining line. Oop, there's a shot.
Driving right from the jump. Going out in front is Clemson. It's Maddie Wren, the sophomore. Tallies it, gets on the board for Clemson.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup in terms of, Clemson plays a zone, therefore typically in anticipation going in there.
Penchek was able to pick that one up, and Clemson now will set up once again in their offense.
Yeah, I've been super impressed with Penchek. She's incredibly fast, but great stick skills, a freshman.
Goldstein that time, wrapping around. Brooke Goldstein, a sophomore, second in assists on this team, tied for second in goals and third in points, and she tallies her 24th goal on the season. That one
makes sense.
Inside once again to Goldstein. That one just scooped up. Covered? No. Looks like we've got a goal call on the field. I mean, listen, we're not up there from this angle. It certainly didn't look like that ball was all the way over the line. It looked like it rolled in between the feet of Chloe Rand in the net.
Yeah.
And just before she couldn't get her stick on it. Yeah, go ahead, Jill.
I wouldn't be surprised if they asked for a review of this. I would. From here, it didn't look like the entire ball went over. Not to get too
way in. At what point do you just resort to a shot from the outside? There's the cut in the middle, going inside. Yes! Alina Shue! It's a perfect pass and a perfect finish, and the sophomore is the first on the board for the Bears.
Yeah, that was great. They moved the ball quickly, changed the point of attack.
Just getting one back. Here's the cut inside, and another great save by Rand. It'll fall right back to Clemson, threatening the shot from long. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Off of the crossbar. Gets her own rebound and tucks it away. Emma Penchek.
I think that might have been Spalina on that rebound and that shot. Sophomore starting on this team for Clemson. How unified they play. They're definitely in sync. And, give Coach credit. Playing 17 games, they just a stretch of a lot of games together. It was such a nice feed.
Yep.
They have that definite synchronicity, and you saw it right there.
That was Spalina wearing the number 1 with the feed on the game clock, and Bears down by 4.
Yeah, let's hope they can have a good possession here and get a good opportunity off.
She will toss it around. Bloomer will dump it off.
And the strategy here isn't too different than, they're going to continue to play a zone, but they're a player down, so there should be more open players. That was a great
Shue once again on the backside. Shue's got both of them for Cal, and very similar look to that first goal she scored. Backside cut inside, unmarked. Defenders. That'll roll through. 26 now on the clock. Shirtliff.
I have to say, Spalina's more impressive live. I mean, she was completely marked.
Inside, it's Spalina to Shirtliff, and Spalina tallies another assist. Shirtliff with her first on the day.
Yeah, her ability to get her hands free by just taking a step back and moving her hands back. She's feeding from a very unusual position in terms of her hand placement, and it's spot on. So sometimes you sped up the game. The clock is running on 8-meter setups. And now I'm finding that a lot of games are well under 2 hours, an hour and 45. And I think that makes for a better viewing experience. And I think the intent of the rules, that went in.
Yeah, Spalina to the cut inside. It's Spalina to Reagan Byrne, the junior attacker. Reagan Byrne tallies it home for the Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, you got to feel
most ominous if you play Clemson and Spalina has that ball behind the goal, just sitting there, and she's just finding a way to tear the defense apart. Clemson waiting for the cut. Spalina just sitting there, waiting, assessing, dumps it inside. What a beautiful turn and a beautiful shot. Almost a no-look shot right there. And once again, it's Reagan Byrne, back-to-back shots for the Clemson Tigers from Reagan Byrne.
Yeah, I was intentionally watching off. Oops. Sorry, I
It's
was
not
watching that
unfair
play.
is what you're
Yeah.
saying, as Natalie Shortliff tallies another one for herself. Shortliff already on the board today, and she'll tally another one, that time just going all by herself. But that was one of the few times, I mean, Clemson right there tallying their 9th, and perhaps only the second goal we've seen where a Clemson Tiger just goes 1v1.
Right, just driving from up top.
Very
and,
team-oriented.
Absolutely, and don't they lead the country in assists?
certainly
So this team is going to be in a couple years.
Certainly. Also, by the way, 3rd nationally in caused turnovers, which we've already seen in this game. They're 1st in the ACC, and those averaging 14 caused turnovers per game.
Yeah, and when I was looking over the stats, I actually asked Coach, is this for real that Tegan Scott has 50 caused turnovers, a freshman? I'm like, what, are you kidding?
Inside, once again, wide open, cutting through the middle. Nobody in front of her to contest. It's Reagan Byrne. She's got a hat trick just in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and recall the beginning of the first
The Bears, the women's lacrosse program, and you took them to the MPSF championship. Do you remember a championship game in April, I believe, 2004? As a shot back of the net. We'll come back to that one as Clemson tallies another one. You mentioned the shots that we're seeing from Clemson, and that one just a absolute rocket to the top corner.
Yeah, right along the post there, too. I mean, the only thing I can think is, and I think that's important, when you're at this point in the season and you're coming off a couple losses, you've got to stay motivated. You've got to keep your eyes on what you can do to continue to improve.
Tally a 4th one in the second quarter alone. Reagan Byrne once again for Clemson. My goodness.
Yeah, they're really putting on a shooting clinic right now. I mean, the feeding is spectacular and the finish is equally spectacular. But you bring in some of the younger players and they bring a new energy and a little bit more risk taking, which in a game like this, take some risk, go to goal, try to make that extra move and see, sort of learn what your boundaries are, what you're capable of.
The plus minus of starting a freshman. There's a bounce shot right between the feet of Chloe Rand, and the goal belongs to Brooke Goldstein, the sophomore attacker, to the stick of DeLuca. And here comes Clemson.
Here they go.
4v4. Clemson. Are they going to push it forward? Dumping it middle. They don't have numbers anymore. A loose ball. Ground ball picked up. More chaos ensues, but Clemson will keep possession. What a feed inside. My goodness.
Yeah.
Spallina. How did she see it? How did she get it off? Unsure. What a feed.
Seems like Clemson may be putting a little bit more pressure further out in their zone, or maybe it's specifically against certain players. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Certainly part of the high risk, high reward as Clemson move the ball quickly forward inside, and that'll tally it. Once again, it's Brooke Goldstein.
She's having a game.
She's certainly having a game. Brooke Goldstein, the sophomore, as we mentioned, out of Delray Beach, Florida. Biological sciences major. We were just talking pregame about how hard it is to be a science major in anything, averaging almost 15 per game, and they've certainly been able to keep that low today, just 3.
Yeah, I was just thinking that there's a shooting space call right there. You could see the player with the ball is attempting to shoot, and that low-cal defender, I think it's number 2. I can't really see from here.
Yeah, it's Katie Bloomer.
Yeah, Katie got in that lane between the ball and the cage. Thankfully, Clemson didn't shoot.
Oh, that shot hits the back of the net. And
sure wish my kid had a job lined up before they graduated. But all jokes aside, I mean, that just speaks to the intensity and the drive of these young women, but it also speaks to the student athlete experience. Wow, this player has wheels.
Wheels indeed. He'll take the shot as well. That's Jasmine Stanton, the junior attacker. That's her 8th goal of the season.
super quick. But back to the student-athlete experience at Cal, Coach Wong was mentioning that it's, top.
And Courtney Wong will scoop it back up. About 40 seconds on the possession clock now for the Bears.
It would be nice to see them get something on the board here. I mean, they haven't scored since the first quarter. Give Clemson credit in terms of really stopping any opportunities. There have been very few shots and some good saves, but not a lot of great opportunities. There we go.
Inside and finding the back of the net, it's Maddie Welcome.
It was a nice shot. She put it on that weak side mid.
I don't envy the coach that has to manage the box.
I don't know how they do that, to be honest with you. It's so much more complicated than when I was coaching. I mean, that was added in, coaching, subbing on the fly in the box, but it's gotten way more sophisticated.
Here's an opportunity for the Bears. Back post.
Nice.
What a pass and what a finish. My goodness. It's number 8 to number 18. It's Juliana Doran to Avery Heft.
Love it.
You have plenty of years of experience as a referee, but also, of course, the first ever head coach of this program at the Division I level. How many years were you the head coach of the California Golden Bears?
9.5.
And at that moment, they were strictly playing in the MPSF. For those who don't know, there weren't enough teams for the Pac-12. There weren't enough women's lacrosse teams. And slowly but surely inside.
Nice.
Bears tally it again. That's Megan Lynch, the freshman.
And but anytime you could beat Stanford, still holds true, is a good day for Cal, and vice versa,
sure,
right?
So absolutely.
So yeah, we went into that, and I remember calling a timeout and brought the team together. We had a very strong team in terms of there weren't very many weak links. So we, remarkably, what I remember most about coming back and then actually winning that game in under a minute. Yet another great goal by Cal there.
Cal's getting everybody going. That's Katie Bloomer, junior midfield.
Getting that ball under control.
Both teams getting everybody minutes right now. Masterson will lay it off.
And about 2:30 left. Oh, there's a nice feed inside.
Katie McMullen, the freshman who we mentioned. Oh my goodness, will she get tallied for the goal? Who knows?
Think so, yeah. That is unfortunate. Error.
The 5th in this quarter.
I'm sure there's some academics to catch up on and some sleep to catch up on. And
maybe some fun to catch up on.
Exactly. I was just going to say some regular life to participate in. So I like that philosophy.
Free position opportunity for Ashley Masterson, and she gets on the board, spreading the wealth for the Bears. It's been Shue, Wilcom, Heft, Masterson, Lynch, and Doran all tallying a goal for the Bears.
Yeah, and that brings it under the 10-goal differential, so the clock stops. I'm sorry.